Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Jess. So Bitcoin is teetering on the edge of an absolute cliff right now and what could be a massive breakdown. Now, before the volatility and volume inevitably picks up before the next weekly close, let's dive into the charts today and talk about what exactly we're watching for to signal a potential move down to 100k and what is going to prevent it. Let's get into it. As always, before we dive in, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to get regular Bitcoin analysis every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and sign up to my free Telegram for more regular Bitcoin updates. If you're a trader and you're interested in joining my VIP trading channel, be sure to message me down below on Telegram. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. Alrighty guys, so diving into the charts, let's start off by talking about the recent price action from Bitcoin and the truly sort of critical position that it has really placed the price action in right now before we dive into our analysis and what exactly we're watching out for over the next couple of days of price action that's going to signal that breakdown to $100,000. So over here on the daily time frame, we can see over the last 48 hours, the price action has continued in a sort of bearish descent, right? We failed to push back above our weekly range over here, right? So we had that sort of failure to sustain that break above $112,000, and it resulted in a further bearish continuation right down into this liquidity zone here and support ranging from 107.3 up to $109.5 thousand. That's this blue box mapped out by the Smart Money Concepts indicator. Now, with 10 minutes left until the current daily candle close, we can see we're still holding at that level of support right now, and that is sort of the same context we can see across every single high time frame chart on Bitcoin right now, and also the reason why the current positioning of the price action is so important. So if we head over and zoom out to the weekly time frame, we can see that same similar narrative on the weekly chart. With about 1 day left until the next weekly candle close on Monday morning for those of us in Australia, we are currently testing at this next liquidity zone right here, or support, ranging all the way up from 108.4 down to $100,000. We can see so far we have sort of wicked into that box right there, but as it stands right now with 1 day left at the close, Bitcoin is currently sitting just above that level of support. Now, that leads us to the first thing that we're really looking out for in this next weekly candle close, or the next couple of days of price action. In tomorrow's weekly candle close, I guess while it's still looking bearish, I mean, nothing's going to flip the current close to looking bullish anytime soon. But if we're able to remain above this current level of support right here, starting at $108.4 thousand, and we do not close within this box, there is less of a likelihood that Bitcoin is going to continue to travel within that zone for the next week or coming weeks of price action, right? So that's really important, because if we tap that level of support and we bounce on it, closing above it, that suggests that there could be a potential reversal on the horizon for Bitcoin, as opposed to a further bearish continuation. Now, objectively speaking, the weekly chart obviously isn't looking amazing, right? We've seen a pretty large breakdown here from the base of our weekly range. We've closed, like, no matter what happens over the next 24 hours, we're very unlikely to resurge above sell-side liquidity here at $112,000 for that weekly close, or this break of structure level, right? The trigger for this bearish move. But if all of that happens, we break down from the weekly range, we fall below sell-side liquidity, we move to touch the next level of support and we bounce, right? That does suggest the end of the bearish move here, even on the high time frame charts. Now, zooming in a little bit further, we can see the same narrative here on the 3-day chart as well. And what we're specifically looking at is the 50 EMA, so this dynamic level of support, that trend line there, as well as the Gaussian channel on the 3-day chart. Now, the Gaussian channel on the 3-day time frame is historically really important in terms of figuring out or signaling high time periods of corrections or bearish corrections for Bitcoin. And we can see right now, as we retest that 107.3k level of support, we are also testing the 50 EMA there on the 3-day time frame, as well as that Gaussian channel. And similar to the weekly time frame, we can see we've just wicked in there, but with about 1 day left to the daily candle close, the weekly candle close and the 3-day candle close, they both happen at 10 a.m. on Monday morning in Australia. We are currently sitting just above that level of support there, mapped out by these two indicators. Now, that is really important because historically on the daily time frame, every time we see a large instance of bearish divergence here on the time frame, on the daily time frame, so over here we've got 123, 124 lower highs on the RSI. Going back a little bit further, we have another easy example right here. We have 108, 110 lower highs. Down here we have we go all the way back to this time frame over here, we have 70,000, 69,000, 73,000 on the RSI. Once again, lower highs, right? So every single time we've had those instances of bearish divergence here on the daily time frame. Let's really quickly map them out using some of these fun little lines. Going back to the 3-day chart, taking a look at the Gaussian channel. Generally, every instance where we see that, over the next sort of higher time frame period of consolidation after that bearish divergence and that sort of sideways chop, we see a breakdown to test the top of the Gaussian channel. And those tests have generally, in the past, if we look at these red lines, resulted in a breakdown into the Gaussian channel, right? And at the very least, a retest of the midline of that Gaussian channel, and at worst, a retest of the base of the Gaussian channel. Taking a look at the price action over here, same thing, right? We have this sort of consolidation, breakdown from our level of support right into the Gaussian channel below the 50 EMA, midline, rejection from the midline, resulting in a movement to the base of the Gaussian channel. Now, right now, we have just experienced that similar thing, right? On the daily time frame, we've had our bearish divergence, moving towards the Gaussian channel right now and the 50 EMA as those levels of support. On the 3-day chart, so in the next daily candle close, or the next 24 hours, if we close the 3-day candle within the Gaussian channel, we are likely, based off that historical price action and the loss of support at 107.3K, to see a correction into the midline of the Gaussian channel, currently sitting at $100,000, and at worst case, the base of the Gaussian channel at 92.5 thousand. Now, before we get into any more analysis, guys, let's really quickly touch on one of the most important parts of being a successful trader, and that's managing your trading fees. So BTC has partnered with me to help you guys out and give you 15% off all of your trading fees. So if you'd like to support the channel and you're still really looking for a great non-KYC exchange with lots of listings, high liquidity, and security, BTC is definitely a great one to check out. And as a thank you for signing up under my affiliate code, you can get 10% off your VIP membership if you message me your membership number when you check out your VIP membership. Thanks. Let's get back into the charts. Now, obviously, all that price action is quite scary, right? If we take a look at the current place in the price action, that could mean a potential 7% correction down to $100,000 and up to a 15% correction if we go down to $92.5 thousand, right? Now, the good news is until those closes happen, so until on the weekly time frame, we close within that liquidity zone there at $108.4 thousand on the weekly chart, and on the 3-day chart, we close below the Gaussian channel or within the Gaussian channel and below that 50 EMA, we're currently still at support. So until that happens, there is a potential here on the short time frame for Bitcoin to, at support, see an actual reversal. So let's dive into the smaller time frame charts now and talk about how that might be potentially developing and any signs that we should be watching out for. Now, here on the daily time frame, the main thing that we're still watching out for is this weekly range, right? We had a failure to sort of invalidate the breakdown of here on Friday's daily candle close, but what we want to see from Bitcoin to truly invalidate the further breakdown here is a bounce from this level of support at $107.3 thousand, close back above 109.5, therefore exiting this liquidity zone, and ideally on the daily chart to signal sort of a higher time frame reversal, because we've so far seen quite unsustained attempts to break back above the range over here, is a close above the 50 EMA here on the daily time frame and our first higher high, right? So these are the highs we're looking at. We're looking at obviously 124, the all-time high. We're looking at this one here at 117, our rejection from this level of resistance. And then we have the most recent high created here on the daily chart at $113,000. If we're able to push beyond that, and coincidentally above $112,000, the base of our weekly range, we've started printing higher highs for the first time here on the daily chart. And then ideally, we would clear above 117,000, this prior high, and then move up into this liquidity zone towards our range high for the structure, or our all-time high at $124,000. Now, before we wrap up the video today, let's really quickly take a look at the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, because what we can see here is potentially quite promising moving into a period of quite critical price action for Bitcoin, right? So on total over here, we can see that throughout the correction that Bitcoin has been experiencing over the last week or so of price action, we can see the total has been consolidating in what is a bullish structure. So we have a descending wedge. We've got consistent at lower highs and lower lows with this sort of compression price action moving into this level of support here at 3.97 trillion, as well as our 4-month-long uptrend here on the total cryptocurrency market cap chart as well, right? So moving into level support, we're in a bullish structure. If Bitcoin does end up bouncing here at $107.3 thousand and we don't see all those large macro red flags we talked about in today's video pop up, what we're looking for here on total is then a potential breakout from this bullish structure. So the measured move here is the height of the wedge, and that takes us right back up to retest the range high for the total market cap at $4.17 trillion. So potential mass recovery across altcoins, Bitcoin, and Ethereum as well. Alrighty guys, that is a wrap on today's analysis. Thank you for tuning in for another episode. If you enjoyed it or you learned something, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to get regular Bitcoin analysis every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And sign up to my free Telegram for more regular Bitcoin updates. If you're a trader and you're interested in joining my VIP trading channel, be sure to message me down below on Telegram. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. And sign up down below to beat you next to get 15% off your trading fees as well. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.